I think one of the other ones with a greasy face. I think his name is D or something. He got a greasy face. He over there on TikTok. I blocked him, Chad, because he was doing too much. That damn right there with a greasy face and makeup on.
Now, holiday hard at your big age, you know better. But I guess since the Bitter Bitch Link Up crew got online playing court clerks and legal analysts and document finders and victim all at the same time, why don't we get on here and clear the room? Michelle Holiday Heart Brown, but not just for you. The spiritual dog whistler, trans Rena, precious double wide ass, and every other commenter online trying to eat off Madison's name. Because that's exactly what this is. Y'all love to frame Madison as y'all enemy, but we all know that's not true. Madison is not your enemy. She's your economy, girl. So let's talk fact, not gossip.
So I'm all about facts and receipts. This is about facts and receipts.
Good, because I brought receipts too. Let's start with your first lie.
So they did live videos talking about Michelle can't talk about TS Manhand or the DL Whisper. Tasha K can't talk about TS Manhand or the DL Whisper.
Girl, nobody got online and said that. Nobody said y'all couldn't talk about Madison. Nobody said y'all couldn't talk about that boy. Y'all talk about Madison every day. What we said was y'all can't use y'all platforms as a loophole for him to talk about Madison. And that is factual. He can't repost, he can't like, he can't share, he can't even think about the post. And then y'all keep screaming, oh, this court document is fake. Well, Gary Coleman, what y'all saw was the draft with expanded protections that Madison sat down with the DA, her attorneys, to come up with so she would feel comfortable with agreeing to let him out on probation. Because had Madison not agreed, we'd be going to trial. That's what y'all fail to realize. And when the judge saw that, it was too specific. So it was broadened to include everybody.
So I would love for them to retract it and post the actual receipts of the actual court documents, but that'll never happen.
Well, guess what, Magilla Gorilla? Today is your lucky day. Here is the official document with the seal. And I want you to scroll down to section 1 under B where it says no contact. It clearly says there should be no contact through friends, family members, co-workers, employers, agents, publicists, media outlets like Tasha K. We would consider her a media outlet. Content creators, anonymous accounts, or online communities. Holiday Heart, you would fall under content creators. Spiritual whistleblower, you would fall under content creators and online communities. Because remember, Michelle, you sat down with Tasha K and both of y'all had a kiki about this little moment.
This interview did well on my platform.
Yeah, it did. I watched it.
And I'm gonna platform his ass again.
Do it.
I promise you.
So yes, Ving Rhames, that's where you come into the protection order. That is where Tasha K comes into the protection order. Y'all got the facts, y'all could read the documents, but you couldn't comprehend that. So how about you do this, girl? Go get your exclusive. You, Tasha K, the spiritual whistleblower, Big Mama Precious, how about one of y'all go get the exclusive interview, huh? Invite him on down to the podcast. Let him talk about me and let him talk about Dominique. Let him talk about Dominique's case. And then y'all let him drag Madison for filth, bitch. Y'all have a good key about that one. I bet you it'll be his last interview. I bet you it'll be his last day free. Because that interview becomes the loophole printed in the document. Y'all sit around every day and act like Madison talk about y'all. You was crying the other day, oh my God. Madison, they know I'm a blogger, so I talk about what's popular. Does this sound like popular gossip?
That part. So it was nasty inside.
I believe it.
Nasty.
He's nasty. He look like he stank.
Madison is your content girl. If you go to Madison's page right now, you don't see her post about you and gets millions of views not talking about y'all. You online whimpering and whispering, everybody knows I'm a blogger and I talk about hot topics. Girl, Madison is your hot topic. You are a 50-plus-year-old content creator sitting around calling her TS Manhands like you not built for tough. Built like a motherfucking linebacker. With the same size hands as me. Sitting around talking about I'm in makeup with greasy skin. No, babe. This is what a good skincare routine looks like, but you wouldn't know that either. Judging by the optics alone. Y'all are so bitter, bothered, and boorish. That's why your stomach is distended the way it is. It's full of bitterness, bitch. But back to the facts.
Hands who actually doxed the DL Whisperer
We're going to go to the Gilmer Supreme Court transcript, page 64. The attorney asks Madison, so when it comes to the doxing piece of it, have you ever read out loud on any kind of podcast any information dealing with my client whatsoever? Madison says no. Then she explains, I would never post a person's address. I would never post their phone number. I would never post their social security number. So where is the video? Where did she say his name? Where did she post his address? Where did she say his social security number? As we go back to the transcripts on page 65, the attorney asks, you never talked about any of his credit report, his address, or anything else like that on social media? Madison responded, we were talking about credit reports. We didn't particularly say anybody's in particular. The attorney asks, well, whose credit report were you reading? Madison said it was one online. He asked again if it was Mr. Palmer's credit report, and Madison says, I mean, it could have been. So all of y'all reporting that he was doxxed by any of us has been a lie. I like the receipts.
Damn right there with the greasy face and makeup on. He hates the DL Whisperer, and he hates the fact that women supported the DL Whisperer. He wants the women to support him. And that's the same thing with TS Madison. He wants the women to support him.
You don't know anything about my situation with that boy, but that's what you got. Me and Madison want women to support us, and I hate him because women support him. But just last week, didn't you say,
I don't understand how women support him.
So which one is it? Do we want the support, or are they supporting and you're bitter about it? But fun fact, I don't hate that boy. I have a lifetime protective order against him because he was stalking and harassing me, threatening to kill me, sending me hateful messages, posting malicious lies on the internet about me. Similar to what you do, Magilla Gorilla, but you're not the only one.
But with TS Madison, textbook narcissist. Textbook. This is the playbook of a narcissist. This is what they do.
Girl, you are delusional. It's funny how you can get online and see the pattern of narcissism in everybody but your own self. Everybody's a narcissist. Your ex-husband, your mother even. Everybody's the problem but you. Because you can't see that you're the narcissistic psychopath. You have been parasocially attached to Dominic Morgan and T.S. Madison for months. Why? Invite him to your podcast. Since you can talk about whatever you want to talk about, invite him up then too. And watch you being throttled in legal drama. Y'all sit around calling us minions and lapdogs for defending somebody we personally know, but y'all sit around and talk about her every day. And she don't think about y'all. That's weird. Y'all are nothing but a bunch of old and miserable, pathetic broads on the internet. Madison is the engagement girl. Y'all really don't hate Madison. Y'all need her. Y'all hate that the same woman y'all try to reduce, ridicule, mock, make fun of, disrespect is the same bitch carrying y'all views on her back like it's community service. Y'all hate that Madison's silence has more reach than y'all screaming. I think that's the most pathetic thing about all of y'all. Y'all hate a bitch so much, but y'all gotta keep talking about her, cause it's how you're sustaining, girl. So Michelle A.T. Brown, since you love receipts, there they are.
Y'all go tell Conscious TV and Dosa D or whatever his name is, they need to report on the actual document and leave my name out this shit. Okay, they will be hearing from my attorney.
Send your attorney, Miss Mama.